dangerous. Get dangerous. Shameless. Basic. Shameless. Get dangerous. That's my.
Mic check, mic check. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Good morning. It's Monday. Crazy madness over the weekend. Everything going on is crazy. Let's see what we can do to have a great day today. I know that last week was quite wild. We managed to make it out and survive. So let's just jump right into our routine here to get things going. So, first thing we want to take a look at is our higher time frame chart. Let's actually jump right into that first. So we're just going to go ahead and just drop this on the main screen here. So I've got my hourly chart, and let's just take note of what's happened over since GlobeX. So we have made an excursion from 30,000 from Friday, where we had this initial break above 30,000, and then we had an opening gap down here in GlobeX. So again, another failure of 30,000. We've continued to fail 30,000. That was the major level for the week. That's what we, obviously that's what ended up becoming the high of the week. We also, which I think is super important, we did reach 29,000, and we had an immediate rejection of 29,000. And that led to this big rotation from 29,000 on July 8th to 30,000 July 10th. So 2-day journey for price. And we literally just spent like 2, 3, 4 hours above 30,000 before we completely just gave it all away. So what I'm watching as we speak now, we've got this overall structure. If we can maintain 750s, meaning underneath 750s, then I would like to see price push down to 29,500. So that's going to be higher time frame structure. We stay heavy under 750. We'll be aiming for GlobeX low 29,500s. If we continue to stay heavy, because we are in negative gamma today, so it's going to be a completely different environment than what we had on Friday. Friday was a positive gamma environment. Because of that, we did see that Trump dump right at 10:30, and so I attribute that to the overall positioning of the options market. We know that when we're in positive gamma, we're going to see prices get contained. So as we move higher, we're going to see dealers hedge against. So selling pressure will come in, and that's exactly what happened. And if you watched the live stream from Friday, the one thing I did say 2 minutes before that Trump candle was I don't buy strength in positive gamma environments, where I don't buy confirmed breakouts or confirmed candles. And that's exactly where we're sitting yesterday. Today, let's take a look at where we're at today. Today, we're negative gamma. Our expected move is 1.3%. So we're looking at a minimum low expected move to the downside, 29,660s. Let's go ahead and drop our gamma levels on the chart now. Let's just jump to our 15-minute, and we can just see that fairly quickly. So our expected move low is going to be 29,660s, which we've already tagged that. Our expected high, 30,476. Just because the word expected is there, it does not mean that we're necessarily going to go there. It's just letting us know that this is like the range, the maximum range that we can anticipate price trading to and through. What's up? How are you? Hey, buddy. So let's continue to observe as we now are testing our one-day min as well as our volatility thresholds. And so currently we're already underneath 29,740. We're negative gamma. That means moves are going to be accelerating. We know that dealers are going to be supporting breakouts, meaning if price drops, they're going to sell. If price rips, they're going to buy. So we may see some trending environment here today. And that's a beautiful thing for a Monday. One thing just to note with the chaos that's happened over the weekend with Iran, the Strait of Hormuz is shut down now. Oil prices, everything that's going on right now. We're going to anticipate some shocks. There's going to be some things happening this week. We know this. And so we just need to be cautious. We need to really make sure we're protecting our capital first and foremost, right? Because if we are really expecting to do this long term successfully, I truly believe we're not going to see calmer markets in the future. I think we're going to see even more volatility and more aggression. And so we just have to really just adjust, right? And so size down, do what you need to do to protect yourself, have your plan of action going into the session. The most important thing you can do is already ahead of time, know what your objective is, get your objective done, and get out, right? You don't need to be exposed to the market unnecessarily, especially in these conditions. You too. Hey, how are you? Absolutely. All right, so let's jump right back into the Renko charts, and let's just look at some structure really quick. So current structure that we're paying attention to is this right here. We've got this test of 29,740s. Market's about to open up here in 4 minutes. All we've done was basically we've had this attempt here to expand above our expected move low. Then we can see that the sellers have stepped right back in. So basically 29,800s, that's going to be the top of this range here. And then from there, we can just see the last hour and a half has just been selling nonstop. And now we're beginning to recover at 9 o'clock. So we got a nice little bounce here at 9 o'clock. So we're going to see if we're going to maybe get a break of this high, and then maybe get a rotation lower, or if this market's just going to dump and we accelerate towards our bids that we have here, about 200 contracts there on the bid. Just sitting pretty. Let me see if we have anything above. Nothing above yet. So we shall allow price to do its thing. I'm not going to be eager to just jump right into trades here right at 9:30. We're going to be, again, my process is very straightforward. We understand the number one thing we're looking at are going to be our key levels. The second thing we're going to be looking at is going to be the order flow. The third thing we're going to look at is execution. How we layer that. Number one, gamma levels, right? That's our structure. With the gamma levels, we're also monitoring our quarter levels. So I like to drop my auction map indicator here that simply just plots our quarter levels. Because again, if you understand how positioning works, a lot of times these levels are going to be magnetized, right? We're going to see reactions of price at these quarter levels. They'll pin these levels. They'll use these levels to accumulate, reaccumulate. So we want to make sure we're aware of those levels. Like we can already see 750 is going to be the top of this range here, from this high to this high, this high, this low, this high. So 650 to 750, about 100-point range, I'd say, in the last hour that we're contained in. But again, the bigger objective would be lower. My anticipation is lower. I'm looking for lower prices here today. So, but again, it would be nice if we had maybe a bigger retracement of some sort before we actually do get a big aggressive dump. So let's see what happens here as we open up. We got 2 minutes left. No big news events today, but Trump, you got to just watch out. He talks a lot, says stuff that absolutely moves the market. Got my heat map right here. I can already see that our POC is overhead so far today. That could easily adjust. So we'll see what happens as things begin to develop. Yeah, so that Iran strike gap down, you know, so that's what it is, right? It was that strike that led to this gap down here today. All right, let's take a look here really quick. Pulling up some stuff. Want to take a look at the overall market now, just to see what's going on. And let's yeah, we got market on open. Let's see here. Okay. Let's have a good day, guys. Discipline, most important thing. Alrighty, here we go. Good luck. Let's take the time initially just to kind of warm up, right? Gotta get warmed up here. Let's take a look at the Bookmap. I don't really like watching the Bookmap right at the open. It's a little chaotic, if you know what I mean. All right, let's see what we get here. We're right in the middle. We're opening up right in the middle of this prior range. Big dump there. Got that low. Nice. Let's see if they just continue pushing lower from here, or if they're going to sweep up a little bit. We're testing yesterday's low, Friday low. We just swept that level. Looks like they're going to try to expand here. About just a cinch. Yeah, buyers have not been able to get any type of bounce open. Here we go. Let's see if they get the reclaim of 75. Everything opening up lower, guys. There's the bounce, the reclaim of 75. They're testing our New York open. So 9:30 opening print. Retest here. Okay. Let's see if they're going to sweep these highs now. So 740s. Gonna look to build a little buffer here. Couple trades. Just try to get in sync with the market. We go from there. Nice rejection there of 25s, 725s. Okay, coming in for the retest here. Let's see if they get this higher high. So, you know, one thing we also look at is market structure, right? So that's why we like the Renko. Renko's our execution layer. It tells us the momentum, the real-time point control of the auction. So right now, buyers are definitely trying, right? But they're vulnerable. So we start hitting below this low here, we could see a move back down to 600s. But right now, we can see them pushing up. We're getting a rotation. We're in an up rotation. The current rotation is upward. And they are trying to sweep these highs here. So let's see if they're going to be able to successfully get these highs. Just because they get the highs does not necessarily mean it's a trend reversal. Here we go. It's a slow move to these highs. So let's see if these dealers end up buying into this move here. You see some speed into 740 or a rejection. There's a rejection there. Let's see. Buyers are trying again. We get back to 680s, I expect a bigger move down. Okay, I'm going to try a short right there. I'm going to try that short right there real quick. Let's see if we get this little deeper move. There's target 1 about to get hit. Let's see if we can get there. Stops already break even. Here's my 15 points. Stops already break even. Looking for speed through these lows. And I'll target low of day. So they had their chance right here. They could still pop it right here. So I'm just watching that structural low. Watching Bookmap. Are they going to reclaim and hold 75s? Let's see what they do. We're up 25 points. Let's just trail a cinch. So we can just be taking our little base hit today. Oh, nice first trade there for 25 points. Let's just take it off. Tagging support here. So we just locked in 25 points on that first trade. I do expect a lower move, but again, I'm just looking to take my first base hit, looking for 2 or 3 decent ones. Sit on about 20, like 50 to 100 points of a buffer, and then we can size up, right? Very clean price action thus far. Take a look at what's going on our heat map. Look at that beautiful candle dump so far. Negative gamma here. Let's turn this on here. Yeah, so we rejected at 718 on QQQs, and now we're looking to push lower. So 714 on QQQs. I mean, it's pretty thin so far. We're not really seeing much, but we start moving lower through 715s on QQQs, and for sure 714s become easy. So we just, so far, I mean, just a pretty simple situation. We don't want to ignore the fact that we did have this major gap down. I mean, there's a possibility that, you know, maybe they're going to do something with that. But anyways, as of right now, not much, right? So buyers have failed to take control at the open. So now let's see what happens here. So here's our 9:30 opening print. They had their chance right here. So this little, let's see if I can get rid of this really quick. This structure right here was their chance to launch this thing and take back control. They failed to do so. On that break, we got short for a nice little scalp there, 25 points. Now they've taken out our 9:30 initial low here from 9:30, or our Globex low. We're not at Globex yet. We still have some room down for Globex. So let's see if we get down to Globex low. We do have that bid at 600s that we're paying attention to. More selling coming in here. Let's just see if we can catch that next scalp here. I'm going to take that short. Hopefully it doesn't swipe up here right at the HVL level. Strong possibility. Let's see if they do that, or if the sellers can continue to stay and remain in control. Watching Bookmap here. Reclaim a 50. I'll cut that trade. Reclaim a 50. I cut that trade. There's a reclaim of 50. Still in the trade. Let's see if they can get back under 50. Can they get back under 50? Looking for a red dot on my Renko chart here. We expect them to kind of like protect the, oh, I guess my first target actually already got hit. Is that what happened? Yeah, my first target already got hit, so this is my runner. I'm going to take it off because they are playing here, so I'm just going to secure that. Let me see. Yeah, the first target did get hit. So quick 50 tick scalp there. This would be our continuation move here. Let's see if they get that expansion out to the bids at 600. This is see, do you guys see how clean this price action is? This is negative gamma, right? So you see it's just nice, smooth, right? So we're at that HVL level here, a 0-day volatility threshold. So this could just lead to more acceleration once we start literally spending and basing under 630. This could be more expansion for us to the downside. So very nice market structure here on Renko. I mean, lower low, lower high, very basic break of structure. Now, what you're seeing on my chart is what I call volatility rotations. So something that we set up and created based on ATR using specific type of Renko measurements. So we're not looking at every single, rotation or swing high, swing low, like in a normal sense. Like most people would be looking at like this is a swing high and a lower high, and technically they are. But after years of trading with Renko, we've kind of dialed in exactly how we need to be looking at Renko to make it consistently effective. So we don't really care about those microstructures. What we do care is these larger rotations. So like right now they're breaking this high. So now the question is, do they hold this, right? Or does it immediately fail? They're attempting a breakout here. So they're going to probably trap some more buyers here. Let's see what happens. See, they just trapped those buyers there on a spike. And we can anticipate type of reaction when we get to our VT levels, our volatility threshold levels. We know that there's going to be somewhat of a battle here. Take a look at that heat map real quick. You can see we're literally right there on 715s at which would technically be the current point of control. It migrated from 710 to 715. So they're trying to support price here on QQQs. But let's see. I'm obviously not convinced that this is going to rip higher, but anything can happen. So sellers did just take back control after that break, so that's a fake break, and they use that now to fill the bid. Let's see if we can fill these bids here at 600s. There we go. You can also see it's our point of control where they're building some volume here on our heat map. This heat map is specifically for QQQ, specifically for options positioning, for Gamma, for GEX. Pull all exposures in. About 400 million sitting there, exposure. 192 million for 0 DTE. So our bigger POCs down to 710s, which supports the idea of lower prices. Throw some dark pools on here so we can see 163 million being sold at 717. Anybody catch the short? A fantastic trade today, guys. That was a fantastic short. Just looking at that setup here, buyers tried to get that breakout and immediately failed. That's what that dot's telling us. You could get short literally against our super trend here, right? Our little red line that you see, boom, and then that would have been smooth sailing. You see an offer just got placed. The buyer tried to execute. Well, they did execute 227 contracts. So someone's trying to buy as price is dropping. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to see this thing reclaim. It just means that there's someone here that was trying to actively buy, but it was met with a large sell order. So let's see what happens here. They're going to probably try to, it just formed a swing low. So after a swing low, there's only one of two outcomes, one of two outcomes are going to happen. They're going to form a lower high or a higher high. Right? So that's it. So after we have a swing low here, it's either going to be a higher high or lower high. So let's see what happens. This is going to be the high right here. There's the high. So that is the high. They just formed a high. Now we look for lower low. Let's see if we get that lower low. We have more bids stacking lower. Stacking bids lower. Beautiful day, man. Unbelievably smooth, clean price action. This is what we like. Zero, it's not that it's like zero effort, but you get a resolution of the moves, right? Quickly. It's not like Friday where they're, for a good 45 minutes, 90 minutes before, the madness, you get this big dump and then it reclaims, consolidates, then massive dump, 1,000-point ticks or whatever, then full reclaim. It's a little different. Put the Bookmap on again. Let's take a look now as we approach some levels. For 75. Okay, so I'm going to try to break structure here at 600. Let's see if they can break that structure 600. I don't think they'll be able to. Just formed a lower low. Let's see if they're going to form a lower high or higher high next. Rejecting. So this offer here at 263 is acting as resistance. So that buyer that bought, see, they came right back into that level. We'll just see if they're going to be able to get something going here. This might just be a straight dump here for the next couple, like a minute and a half, while the 15-minute candle closes here. We have not taken out GlobeX low as of yet. The ES is approaching its. Actually, no, it's not. ES is quite doing the opposite, actually. So if we look at the ES, we're pumping higher. Actually, we were. So there's some divergence happening between the ES and NQ. Okay, price going to create this high here. Let's see if they're going to be able to create that high at 590s, or they're going to fail. What are they going to do? Not interested participating in any longs at the moment. I'm trying to get to that 600 level. Let's see if they're going to be able to tag that high. Now we watch to see if they're going to stay firm here. Now it's a new 15-minute candle. There's going to be our flip right there. Go back in control. Sellers immediately reclaimed. I mean, not even giving a chance for the buyers to get a second leg up. Renko chart is the one that's right here. Here, let me show you. This is a Renko chart, my friend. Are you able to see? My charts should be showing. Yeah, I mean, I can see it on my previews. This is the Renko chart. We look at candlesticks as well, but the Renko chart is going to be our execution layer. Structure, order flow. We put everything in terms of the order flow on this chart. Gamma levels. It's a 8-20-40 Renko. So it's a Unirenko brick. I don't. I prefer those over all the others. And this specific chart, this specific Renko brick size is 80-20-40. All right, so buyers here are going to try to get a higher high, but there's only two outcomes, either higher high or lower high. We did see them take out an offer there. If you see 182 contracts, there's a label there, right under 75s. Let's see if they're going to succeed in getting this higher high. Our VWAP, just make sure you're aware of the VWAP at 625s. Usually we get a pullback here early on in the session. Could be the first pullback to VWAP. We'll see. But ES is staying firm above 7,600. So the ES is above its call wall right now. That's important because we want to make sure that we are fully aware of what ES is doing, because you will notice that there are a lot of time synchronicities between ES and NQ. So when ES reaches specific levels first, NQ may eventually catch up. But we can see right now that ES has been holding its call wall 7,600. This is a major level here on the ES. So we've broken now, we're now reclaiming. And then in terms of our lug levels, we're right at our directional line. And so we can see the migration that's happened today from overnight. We literally opened up, or this is actually the end of Friday. Friday, we tagged our red lug level. Sunday, we gapped down to yellow lug level. We made a full excursion to blue lug level, which is our big blue target. And now we're back at directional. And now we're kind of chopping around here. So, currently, ES is fairly balanced. So the main thing right now for ES is, are they going to be able to sustain a move higher, or do we end up breaking structure here, 795s, and then we see a rotation lower, and then this gets back in sync with the NQ, right? So if that's the case, then we would expect this break. On this break here, and then we get that break here, then we get a move back towards blue. Now, if this does stay firm, this would mean that this structural shift is what's the catalyst for this overall structure now, building value higher. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to accept. The only other thing to consider is that we do have this overnight gap here that obviously, it doesn't have to get filled today, but maybe it's a magnet for price. But we can see that they're battling right now at the call wall. So let's see what ends up happening. I believe, yeah, the ES is in positive gamma. So ES is in positive gamma. So this is why we're seeing this type of price action on the ES. So we'll just have to see if that's going to be able to unload too. If it does, and perhaps we'll see a really significant expansion here on the NQs. So what's interesting now is that, why do you use NinjaTrader instead of full-fledged order flow program like it has? So you're saying NinjaTrader is not a full-fledged order flow program? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? For me, this is my preference. I think this is much better in my opinion. And I also use other things too. I prefer stable platforms. We code, we develop, so we build all our tools on NinjaTrader. I've used ATAS. I mean, it's great. It's a good platform too. But I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say that NinjaTrader is not an order flow platform or a full-fledged order flow platform. I mean, that's kind of silly. That's kind of silly there, my friend. All right, let's see what we get here. You can see here on the Bookmap that they are simply pinning right around 0, 0, and 75. So let's see if we end up slamming and failing here. But I would prefer a bigger sweep. I prefer a failure back above 630s. Maybe a retest of the VWAP. We get some spike, but they can also do this where we get this nice break right here before they actually take it up. Oh, Ukraine is also firing missiles too? Holy cannoli. Jeez. I think everybody just needs to learn how to trade. Put the guns down. Let's see what happens here. I'm kind of liking how this might be approaching this 75 breakdown, but we'll see what happens. Let's see if we can get to that 75 breakdown here. I'll be using a very tight stop here just in case it wants to sweep back up. Looking for my little red dot here. There's my red dot. Can we stay firm under this level here? Structural high. There's our first target. Can we get there? Yes, target one hit. Stops to break even. Targeting our bid, our not full-fledged order flow. 267 contracts on the bid. Sellers are coming in, but I guess it's not real. Let's continue watching this expand lower. We'll just leave our stops break even for this one so we can catch a bigger rotation. I'm targeting our NDX, put support down to 300s, 350s. So we're 3 trades in, 3 trades green. First 2 were buffers, build my cushion. And now we're just riding and just seeing if we can catch expansion here for the hour, the last 10 minutes of the hourly candle. I'd like to see some aggression here through 25s if they can. Let's see. We're beginning to break. $200 contracts that were sold here. Let's see if the sellers are going to be able to defend themselves here. We could probably add some more. Let's see if we get this failure here. I guess I missed that re-entry. So we got GEX 8 down below 29,500. This is a major level, guys. 500 is a major level. If you pull up an hourly chart, if we start accepting below 500s, I anticipate a retest of 29,000 between today and tomorrow. Look at Bookmap here. Boys are trying to support price here at 25s. Okay, there's our high. Are they going to create a higher high or lower high? Let's see what they do. I'll get back in on a lower high if we confirm. Watching. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and take the 5 more contracts on. I've added 5 more. I'm already break even. So if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't go, it doesn't go. I don't care. At this point, we're just playing rotations. We're just playing with rotations, guys. We can reclaim here 25, or we can take out 500s. Let's see if they can get through our low here at 720s. This trade 4, well, technically trade 3, but I've added in on another 5 contracts there. So still trade 3, but just layering in. Okay, tag that on my trail there, no problem. Always re-add if we need to. Watching price action here. Try to maybe take one more attempt. Stopped out. Okay, no worries. We're good. We Gucci. Let's see what happens now. Trying to break that high. We created this higher high. Little sweep there. They stopped me out before they actually took it out. Let's see. I'm not going to try that one again. We're just going to wait to keep defending 25s, but we are back under 50s. Let's see what they're going to do here. There's a reclaim for sellers, so let's see if they get that acceleration. I'm not in this move right now, but I'm just observing the price action. They are beginning to support here at 25s, but let's see what they're going to do. You can already see that these guys have already failed this high, but they also have not taken this low. So it's probably best that we let price unfold here. We have 5 minutes left for the hourly to close, and then we'll just reassess here afterwards, and we can jump right back in if something makes sense. And then we can look for the next move. So far what's happened, right? Opening range, 15-minute breakdown. Right, so we saw that expansion happen. So 660s was kind of like that level, broke through that, and that's our expected move low. And then we just had some trend continuation plays, a few of them, and now we're beginning to hold support here as we approach the close of the 10 o'clock hour. So this is how it all happened here. Started right here. That was the breakdown. Buyers again swept and failed. We had a big seller come in for 263 contracts. The buyers attempted. They aggressively executed 223 contracts on the offer. Couldn't accept. Price ended up rejecting. Full rotation lower. Had a retest. Had 3 attempts here. And then at that point, buyers ended up taking back control right there. We had our little flip right here. This is where we ended up getting short. Caught a nice little move here. And then I think our runner got tagged out break even. I tried to do a re-entry, got tagged out, and that's fine. So overall, those were the plays so far on the session. Let's see, that was a break even. This was the first trade we caught 25 points. Second trade here, I think, was a cut. All right, yeah, that was a cut. Then this trade here, trade number 3. So 3 trades in. 1 cut, 1 break even, 2 break even, and 1 loss. So not too terrible right now. Not too terrible right now. Now we're beginning to expand above these highs. Let's see if they're gonna sustain this move and maybe clear out all these highs around 600. So we've got this nice red supply zone. Let's see if they're going to be able to fill that, take it out. And you know what's causing this potential move is time, right? It's the timing of things. We have this bid down as well, 500s. We know it's a major level. So if you pull up again your hourly chart, you'll see that. Okay, we're testing the VWAP now. We're approaching VWAP. 607s is my VWAP price for 930. So ES is beginning to get bullish here. So ES looks like it's trying to load up for a second leg up or expansion higher here. Let's see if they're going to be able to clear the highs from its opening range. Let's also now take a look at our heat map to see if the dynamics have changed with GEX. I don't know if you guys can actually see this, but it does tell me that the POC shifted from 710 to 715. So that means that maybe sellers or buyers are beginning to step up here, support this push higher. So we'll see what happens. All right, we have a few seconds here before the 10 o'clock hour opens. Let's see if these guys are going to reclaim our low from yesterday. We are pulling back into our expected move low. So we're in an upward rotation right now. Price is looking for higher prices. Price is moving higher, looking for opportunities here. So let's see. Still not sure I'm going to be participating to the upside as of yet. We'll see what happens. So here's our opening print at right around our HVL level, or six. So the price is 29,630s. So for this to really get bullish, we would need to, on the bigger structure, get above 29,800s. And then that would then turn this market into more of a range bound situation. Well, let's see now. I think we're beginning to transition here. Oh, this is actually really nice if you want to take, well, not yet, don't do it yet, but this is what we like to see. If you have a bias for the sell side, you want to see big moves like this, right? Big rotations. So we got to wait for the right time. We got to wait for the buyers to fail. They haven't failed yet, so still in control at the moment, but let's see what happens now. We're back underneath the 10 o'clock opening print. I hope we get, you know, maybe even a higher high here. Maybe we get another little second leg up, and then we look for a break, and then we can look for rotation. Not yet. I mean, again, it could just go straight back down to the lows and we miss it. But for me, I'm gonna wait for structure here to form that we can trade against. Big selling back again. That 500, 200, just a aggressive sweep there. Aggressive sweep by the sellers. Take a look at the Bookmap. I wonder if this is considered a full-fledged order flow platform. I don't know. See what happens here. At least the guy didn't say like TradingView, because if he would have said TradingView, it's so funny looking at people like they're like, I trade order flow, and then they're trading on a fucking TradingView chart. It's like, what? And then even execute on a TradingView chart. That's like the worst thing you could do to execute on, right? I mean, straight up, like, call like, that means you like losing money. That's like, oh boy. All right, let this thing pop up. What kind of high is this going to make? So it just created a higher low. Now is this going to create a higher high, lower high? What's it going to do? Now we watch the order flow. We had all this selling here. So, you know, are these guys going to be able to defend their position here? All these aggressive sellers that came in. I mean, let's see what happens. We're below the 10 o'clock open. So my method, my process is very straightforward here. I would like to see this get back above and then fail. So I want to see a structure like this. Boom, 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 boom. And then on that boom, look for a little right shoulder, take it down. So how do we layer order flow into this conversation? Well, it's very simple. Price lifted, right? We had aggressive selling down here at these bids. So we initially used these offers, okay? They were getting aggressive here. Buyers are attempting to buy. Sellers are putting pressure on price. You can see that the sellers then got aggressive here. They stacked the bid, couldn't fill. So sellers got exhausted at 25s. From there, we ended up getting a slingshot rotation. Then we start seeing some aggressive selling as we approach higher. And then we see a large bid come in. Right under prices, price is making new highs. So when we see a large bid get placed as price is creating higher highs and higher lows, and then we trade back into it, usually that bid is fake, right? Usually it's fake, but they actually ended up selling into it. We can see that those 200 contracts, actually it's 101 contracts, they executed on the bid, and then we start seeing aggressive selling come in underneath. So now these guys have already taken out this low. I don't like that. It's not really my structure. I like to trade. But I'd like them to go ahead and try to take out and break out above this high and then fail. But if it's this bearish, if it's so bearish that it can't even do that, then that's it. I'm just going to miss this next this trade here. But this was, I guess, potentially what it would have been right here. It's a little right shoulder, but I wanted to see a little bit more from the buyers, but we didn't get that. We didn't get that. So it looks like it might be done here. So what I may do, and how you frame that when you miss the entry, or you don't miss an entry, it's just I had a preference, I had a specific structure I wanted to trade against, which would have been a reclaim of 630 and then a fail. So I like double failures, I like double reclaims. The problem with most folks is they look for a singular fail, a point of failure, or a single break retest or whatever. But we know that price will hit levels multiple times before the actual move. So I'm not really a fan of a single probe of a level and then rejection. I want to see it like try. I want to see a battle. I want to see the buyers really try. You know what I mean? Because once I know the buyers really try, then I know they exhaust. And once they exhaust, then the sellers can just overwhelm. Just like what happened here, right? The buyers are trying here. Sellers were trying to hold price down. They were trying. And then here we got super aggressive. The sellers were obviously trying to push lower. Trying, and then eventually they exhausted. Boom, price rotates. I don't know. I want to see, and then we have sellers come back in again. They attacked. The buyers are nowhere here to be present at the moment. Let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. So we see this volume here. I got this space right here that formed that led to this spike. Let's see if that holds the support. So 75s. There we go. Let's see if these buyers now are going to be able to maybe, I don't think so, but maybe get back up to 620. So if we get a failure, or maybe move back to 620s, then maybe we can get my little structure move that I like here. Maybe. But doesn't look like it. Wow, SpaceX down 4.9%. Well, that's expected. Anybody buying SpaceX stock? Yeah, but you just let it dump down to like 100, under 100. ES is now failing back under the call resistance, so that is not good, right? So, well, it's good for us if you're short, if you're short bias right now. So ES is looking like we got buyers who attempted there. The short might be on ES because the buyers did get their attempt, they failed, and now it looks like we're beginning to get some sell pressure coming in on the ES. So I'd be watching the ES as a possible alternative here, but let's lock in real quick and see what they're gonna do. 1008. See if these guys can get this higher high here at 620s. Nothing sizable yet on the book on my side. Take a look at ES. Bookmap. Nothing really. So these guys are going to try to reclaim the 10 o'clock open. Once they do, then I look for a structural failure. Maybe we can get a bigger dump, but we'll see. We shall see. See how they handle this high here if we get a break here. Watching ES, see how they're going to handle this. If you're watching ES, it's still pressing that call resistance level 7600. Still holding. So it looked like they're about to fail there, those buyers, but they're still present there, supporting price. See if these buyers can get this higher high or be able to retest this high 600s. Hey, this is their chance. Buyers have a chance here. They've done well for the last 5-10 minutes here, recovering. They've reclaimed the VWAP. So from 620s, that was reclaimed for the VWAP. Guys, share real. Watching this clock open. Guys gonna be able to get this higher high. What's going on with the ES? Nothing going on with the ES. There we go. Let's see. Let me try it here. I'll try this here. If the buyers end up reclaiming the opening print. Short again. I'll be a quick cut if it reclaims strongly. Go Bookmap on there and watch. O'clock. It's not ready yet. Okay, I'll cut it real quick. If it gets back again, back under, I have no problem reattacking. I just don't want to end up being in a situation where it squeezes. Take out that high. We have that lower high, so I don't like shorting against lower highs. Quick little cut there. Here, this time. Could be a trap for me again. Let's see. Can we get back underneath? Stopped out. I'm back at 0 on my buffer. All good. Why you build a buffer? Let's see. It said I wouldn't want to short against that lower high, but I figured maybe because we're playing right at that open print. But this is what I like right here. I like to see the structure reclaim here. And then if we can get back underneath this level here, that would be the opportunity to get short. But let's see. They're trying to press here. One more time. One more time. Let's see. Okay, try it one last. No, we didn't get that flip yet. To push the button too. Stay heavy under 50s. Holding 37. So 37s. We can get back underneath the opening print then. Good. We still didn't take out that high though, so that's the only problem I'm having here with the setup. Doesn't feel like they're done yet either. Feels like they still want to take that high out. They do have the ES still technically pushing up. Damn. Oh shit. We got it. Holy shit. I caught another Trump candle here. Holy shit. I think I'm done for the day, gang. Oh man, that was wild. Did you guys see that? I was short, baby. Thought that shit. Here, look. Proof. I got short here, stopped out. Short here, manually stopped out. Oh, this one I stopped out on, and then I hit it again. And then, boom, bro. I didn't even have a chance to bring my target up. I was going to actually do a scalp target, but it started cracking. And look what they did. 592 contract. It was literally right before, like 240. Yeah. Yeah, ES was heavy, but they fucked everyone up right there on that pop. You see, they did that little bullish break there. Let me show you. They got everyone trapped again, bro. I can't wait to see all the streamers on YouTube who, you know, all the big gurus. Those boys were all getting smacked. You see all their videos for live trading. I saw that guy you're talking about who lost 16 grand on doing his live account on the Trump candle. But guys, this is the market we're in. Like, you don't buy. Look. Big bull candle, rejection. Second time, big bull candle, rejection. Oh yeah, let's try it a third time, guys. Psych. But here's the other piece, right? Here's what we also have to consider. Like, 7602s and 7600s. These two levels were the same levels that like on Friday. It was like the same level that occurred. Like if I go right here, you can see same two levels from Friday that led to the Trump candle. Same shit. Same shit. Wow. You know, market has memory. We know this, right? So, jeez. Bruh. Anybody else catch that? I mean, I mean, you know, some people will catch a trade and it's because of luck, but I'm not gonna call that luck because I had my plan. You heard me talk my whole plan out, my whole thesis before it happened. So you know, it just happened to be luck in the sense that Trump made a tweet and it just dropped like instantly, full target. You know, that's something I had no idea was gonna happen. Like I couldn't I had no way of knowing that was gonna take place, but we did it. We caught that move. Shit. And it was so simple too, right? I mean, it was a really simple thesis. I mean, we've been doing this for the last 2 weeks. If you've been on my stream, it's just like 10 o'clock open print, right? We get above it, okay? And then we get below it, we fail, we get above it, right? And then here's our structure. This is it. We're just using structure, order flow to time it. Oh, combine that with our gamma levels. And what's that? What's this level? 630 was our HVL level. HVL level, right? So what this basically means, the volatility threshold, we know above it, we're going to see prices contain. Below it, we're going to see prices get aggressive and accelerate. So notice as we got above it, it was like slow and grindy. We got back above it, slow and grindy. Below it, whoom, game over. Gangster, huh? Pretty cool stuff. This shit works, I guess. Anyone else get that short? Anyone else get that short? I mean, after that, I'm good, bro. I don't think I need to take any more trades today. I hit way more than my target for the session. Not way more, but you know, I was actually back to zero or break even. I think after commissions, like just a little bit like red with commissions, like nothing, and then. But I already knew. Like it's not that it's not like I was like, you know, sometimes when you're trading and you just like have a terrible read on the market where everything you do is just wrong. Like it's just wrong. So I knew that the cut of what I was trying to accomplish here, it wasn't that it was wrong. It's just that the timing wasn't right. Right? It wasn't right. So those cuts I took, it wasn't because I was wrong. It's because I was early. Right? And there's a big difference between wrong and early. Now, some people might say it's the same thing. You're early. Well, you're wrong, right? Because if you were right, then you would have said. And here's the truth: depending on my size of contracts I'm trading, depending on the ATR of the session, my proper stop loss placement would have been above 75s. But I did not want to use a stop loss that big. I did not want to have a 250 point stop, right? So for me with Renko, the whole point is to be able to use a tighter stop. Like the biggest stop you should use is probably like 25 points. Using a bigger stop than 25 points on a 8-bar Renko chart, then you're just doing it wrong. I mean, it's just you're just completely you're not focusing on the way to actually execute on a Renko chart. The whole point of using Renkos for precision of entries. Let's see if we get more. Let's see if we get this break right here. Go short again. Let's take a look at the order flow on my platform that's not a full-fledged order flow platform. Bro, this Trump guy, bro. He's either your best friend or he's your worst enemy when it comes to trading. Yeah, buddy. Do you think anybody was buying? I wonder if anyone was long. Like, was there even a reason to get long? Like, I totally have. It did. I feel like this was much better than Friday because at least today there was like really no indication of why you should be bullish. At least for me, like I had no reason why. All right, let's see if we get a little scalp again here. Let's see if we get a little scalp here. Hold on. Wait a minute. What are they gonna do? This is where your hotkeys come in because I will put my hotkey on and will get me in on a confirmed signal. So see, that's why hotkeys are actually pretty helpful. By the way, all this stuff is part of the group, part of the community. We're building out, in fact, it should probably be done here in a couple days. We have an entire dashboard that we've built out. So for me, my focus on what I'm doing is we're not just like trying to like, we don't just build indicators. We're literally building systems and structures to help traders actually become high performance traders. So they can come in and trade at a high level. They can perform at a high level. Because let's face it, trading is a sport, right? It is a sport. Do you sweat when you trade? Absolutely. Is there pressure when you trade? Absolutely. Is there competitiveness in trading? Absolutely. Is there an opponent in trading? Absolutely. Trading is a sport, and if you don't treat it like a sport, you're gonna get defeated every single time. So the platform is gonna be pretty sick because it's all built around everything you see here. But more importantly, it's really built around your existing skill set, your existing experience level on a day-to-day basis. So you'll be able to connect you'll be able to pull your trades in. You're going to be able to get real-time feedback. You'll be able to look at all the gamble levels, the game plan for the session. Every single day, what I look at before I even start, like I already know what the levels are. And that's why gamble is so important, because we don't have to sit there and predict and draw magic lines on a chart, right? Like I think this is the trend line, or I think this is support resistance. Like we don't need to do that. That's like so 1995. We don't need to do that, right? And so man, it's all about leveling up. Look at these boys. These guys are straight assholes, man. They just liquidate everybody, boom, come back and reclaim. Unless you're like trading one micro, maybe you hold that whole dump, right? I saw that one guy on Tradeify, he had like one micro on, and he just sat in that Trump candle like it was nothing. I was like, man, that guy, good for him. Talk about, really just the epitome of like position management, of like how you don't oversize so that way you can stay cool, calm, and collected. Well, anyways, let's see if they reclaim here. This is the low of yesterday, right? 680s is yesterday's low. Let's see what they're gonna do. I mean, these guys are just straight donkey ass over here. I don't know what's going on, but I'm actually really not interested in taking any more trades at this point after that move. But I mean, there's always two ways to look at it, right? It's either, okay, you hit your bag, you're done, which is fine, which I'm technically done. Just based on that last trade right there. Big of a move was that? Didn't seem that big. It was only like 650 ticks. But yeah, my target did hit 500 ticks with my full contract size, so that was pretty damn cool. But the other way of looking at it is like, well, I got a buffer. I can trade my buffer. I have a big buffer now, so I can take a portion of my percentage of my buffer and use this now to just kill it, right? Do what I can to either make more, double, triple, quadruple, because it's still early. I still have my framework that I haven't even completed yet, which is what the next time a trade should be setting up is from 10:30 to 11:30. So for me, everything is time segmented. It's like, okay, I already know there's going to be this trade at this time, this trade at that time, this trade at that time. Like really like 3 or 4 trade ideas, and so technically there's still that one on the table right now. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. Struggling here at the expected move low. The EML level here, same thing as one day low, so 75s. Let's see, they're going to try to probably pop these lows here real quick and then maybe reclaim the Friday low. We have an offer hanging out there at 700s. 29,725. 29,725 call wall. No. 29,725. No, 29,740 is the volatility threshold for net GEX. Call wall at 29. Red band. Red band are you referring to? Oh, up there. Oh, I see what you're saying. No, it's not. This is our we call it RMT zones. So it's just basically automatically plot supply demand for Renko charts. But it's beautiful when it clusters, right? Because what you're gonna find is like support resistance levels. It's not like the real levels. You're gonna know that they're real levels because it's price clusters around these levels and spends time. You can confirm it with order flow. But those red bands there are RMT zones. Renko Renko zones, Renko supply demand zones. So you can see once we get to 740, but before we get there, we already have a pretty large offer hanging out. So they're going to probably try to fill this offer. That's also coinciding with the New York Open print at 702s. So it's a very important area, and there's a reason for price to reach up this high, but let's see if they can successfully do it. Let's see if they can successfully do it. See, what we have to consider is what just happened right now, right? So we've had a shift in market structure. I know it's such a cliche term you hear, you know, whatever. Basically, right here, sellers try to get control, they reclaim. So we had this reclaim right over. Let me move this chart, my head's in the way. Let me cut my camera off real quick. You don't need to see my face. So real quick, let's just go through it. So let me actually get rid of this one so I can move my damn chart. There we go. All right. So what happened was obviously we had the Trump dump again right there. Boom. Big break. We're not going to go into the order flow component. I can show you all the orders there of how it all triggered. Then we took out the low day, right? Which was time was that low? Yeah, 950. So this was technically not the opening range low. Let's do it like this. Yeah, that's our opening range low. So we took it out already, and then they basically tried to sweep it again. And then what happened is they came back to it again. The sellers did take another swing at it. We had this move here where you see they got short, took back control, and then another nice little expansion did create the lower low. So that's pretty much the minimum objective of a seller, is to hit the low or get a lower low. But then from there we had a rotation. Buyers reclaim. So we had a reclaim of opening range. So when we have a strong reclaim of a significant level, that's important after a seller failure. So you have a combination of key level. And what is this key level down here? It's our GEX 8 level at 29,500. So again, this is a major cluster level, major level. Okay. So we broke our opening range low. Sellers stepped right back in, and then we ended up testing an important GEX level, GEX 8. We had a reclaim, not just like a structural reclaim, but an actual like reclaim of the opening range low. That's still not enough. But then here, now we see confirmed control of the auction, right? So from 1018, this was that point of decision. We got expansion higher. They come back one more time, 75, and then we expand higher. But now what sets the tone is that we reclaim the 10 o'clock open print. And now we're at 1030, and we're now testing well above, or actually right there at that 930 open. So we know now buyers are trying to pump into opening range high. So now we know where we're at. You know, it's cool. Do I want to be a seller now? No, not right now, because the buyers have proved themselves. They have proved to take control of this auction in the moment. All the folks who were trying to buy earlier, they're probably super frustrated. They're punching their computer screens, you know, because they were long. And then technically, right? Technically, now they're right. They were just a little early. I just want to see how they continue to probe this level here. And then the ES looks like it's still struggling at call wall 7600s. They filled that offer there at 700s. Let's see if they're going to be able to break out of opening range high. They can get up there. So 1030 now is going to be a new auction. Every 30 minutes, a new auction, right? That's how we got to look at it. So sellers had initial control, but I think because of that high volatility, it was a total inefficient move. You know, obviously there was probably a lot of gaps in the order book. Price just filled, and now maybe we're balanced again, and now we can see where we're gonna go from here. And who knows, maybe there'll be another Trump candle. Trump is still active right now on Truth Social, so I need to get more coffee, man. Watching this 1030, let them reclaim. It looks like ES is beginning to fail again. The 7600 call wall. Call resistance, 7600s. Let's take a look at our heat map. What is going on there? Not much. To be honest. Yes. Yes. Take a look at NVIDIA. What's going on with NVIDIA today? Oh boy. GEX is still positive. SPX. The NQ is the only thing that's negative, huh? What about QQQ? Who's QQQ negative? $76.15 reject long gamma today. Theory. Good theory, bro. 76.15. Well, oh man. I mean, I could see where you're coming from with that, right? They already did their business to the downside. I mean, I don't know. It's a tough one. It seems like we're gonna probably. What time is it right now? 10:35. Yeah, I mean, I kind of think that might work. I personally wouldn't take that trade. Like, are you saying you want to get long? No, the regime has not changed on the ES, nor the QQQs. Everything is, so QQQs are negative, NQ is negative, ES is positive. That's why ES is contained right now the way it is. Right? So something, I mean, obviously there's something happening here. It's the ES looks like it's, look, are you looking at gamma levels as well? Let's see. Let me remove my lug levels here, because the lug levels are pretty important, but see here. Yeah, so it's already, you can see how, like, the big thing for me is, like, you know, what might even be helpful is, like, if we just get rid of Globex hours, let's just put RTH really quick. Take a look at what's going on with that. There we go. Yeah, so you put RTH, it's pretty straightforward, right? I mean, like, we can kind of see big gap down. They attempted to fill the gap, big rotation. This push up, unable to reclaim these highs, right? So not even this lower high they couldn't get above. So that's kind of the tricky part. Like, for me, I mean, they already did their sweep, right? I think it's already done. They already did it this morning right there. Oh, wait a minute. You guys can't see this. Sorry. My bad. Right there. It looks like they already did their sweep. Yeah. I don't trade gold, but you can trade gold with gamma levels. You can trade gamma levels pretty much on anything. Stocks, any stock, crypto. But yeah, man. I think the sweep already happened there, bud. Now we're rotating, right? So now the fact that so how I look at this at this moment is we had this candle here, and that's the candle for me. If I was selling ES right now, you have I mean, you're watching the nodes. Is that what you're doing? Oh, okay, I see. I'm not sure what you're looking at. That's why. So I don't know if you're looking at the levels or if you're looking at real time gamma. I don't really know what you're looking at. Let's pull up the real time. Let's see. Yeah, I see what you're saying. We got some POC building above and actually below. So SPX has, here, we can just pull this up. I'll share this chart with you guys here so you can see. So you can see right here, SPX, they are building and supporting below, right? So let's move down, obviously got absorbed, but we're now flipping negative gamma. You see that? Negative gamma on SPX. Negative gamma on QQQs. The only thing that's still positive is SPY. So if we start clearing POC, you know, and they can actually start trading through, let's say 75.40s, and maybe we get acceleration lower, we tested these lows. But as of right now, yeah, they're still pitting this area here. So this price here on SPX is 75.50s. So we just have to find the equivalent of that on the ES. Oh, let's take a look-see. Let's take a look-see. Are you using end of day? Bar chart. Yeah, I see. The bar chart. Well, they're still holding. You know, you can see it's not done yet, but we are crossing over. SPX is crossing into negative territory. So let's see what ends up happening as we start accelerating through the level. Try intraday. Try intraday. Okay, try intraday. Make sure you're using the right contract. Well, you know, it's all about. It's not just a level. It's not just about a gamma level. Environment is definitely the important part, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to be overall price action and market structure that confirms whether or not a level's going to be the level, right? And that's where rotation comes in from, being able to understand those concepts. So, you know, ES is definitely selling off now, right? You can see it consistently slamming lower, closing lower. We're now breaking 590s. And that's the thing. So it's easy to think that this has to be more complicated than it is. Like, we have to know all these terms and all what it all means in terms of, like, you know, GEX and exposure and positioning and all these different things. And look, you know what? Even the most advanced traders, they're not going to just blindly buy a gamma level, or they're not going to just buy a single level. They're going to wait for confirmation. They're going to wait for price to prove itself. You know, and I think for a lot of people, the problem is if they're day trading, they day trade within a certain window of time. Like, let's say, you know, 9:15 a.m. to like maybe 11:30 a.m. And it's like something has to happen on their window of time in which they're trading. And because of that, it forces them to take trades when trades aren't necessarily ready yet. Like, price will pin levels, and that's important. That's why gamma is so important, because if you understand these gamma levels, you know that price will pin these levels, and it will do so for hours until the time is right. And so if we understand that concept, then it's like, okay, I don't need to be forcing or fighting that. Like, literally, price has been pinning 7,600 for like 2 days, 3 days straight. Are these GEX levels on your chart based on 0 DTE or average of 1 DTE? 0 DTE and net GEX. So all total. So I have both. But these are end of day. End of day. This is not intraday. For intraday, I look at other tools for intraday real time. And you can use something called GetBox, or GEXBox, sorry, GEXBot for real time on your chart, which is cool. But I just find that I don't need to do that. Like, I just kind of have like a separate window where I put my Bookmap, and then I can flip through the real time heat maps, because it's not like it's gonna absolutely, like, for a day trader like me who's scalping, it doesn't affect my in the moment decision to take a trade. Like, my decision to take a trade is already done. But before I do that, I'm looking at a bigger context. That's where I'm going to take into consideration what's going on with gamma in terms of the environment, where are the POC nodes, where's the real-time positive gamma or major gamma levels. That's important. And then what I'm looking for, once I know that, then I don't need to look at it anymore. Now I can just focus on my execution chart and then just take trades based on that. And then I'll look at my Bookmap for in the moment if I'm like, okay, I want to really time this correctly, or if I'm already in a trade and I want to make sure that it's the right time or the right position or right entry, I'm watching Bookmap. So I think the key for you is just kind of getting into the the protocol of where does your attention go first? Like, what's the first thing you're looking at to make a decision? So for me, it's going to be the auction, right? So the auction for me is like the auction levels, in this case, gamma levels. I'm looking at gamma levels, Lubbock levels. That's like the first thing I'm going to look at. Environment, right? What environment are we in? So that's like step one. And then step two, I'm looking for market structure. I'm looking for price action, looking for acceptance, rejection, and time, right? So I use my opening print. So you hear me always talk about, oh, look, it's a new auction here every 30 minutes. And then when it comes time to hit the button, I'm looking at my Renko chart because that's where I can clearly get the tightest risk to reward. So that's it. I mean, that's my protocol. Your protocol, you got to figure out how you're going to use all that stuff, because it's impossible to be looking at everything all the time, all at once, right? It's impossible. So you got to you'll figure it out, dude. You'll figure it out. You'll get there. Just know that it's not like one thing is going to make you a better trader or make you more profitable or whatever. And that's like, you could have a toolbox with like 100 tools. It doesn't make you handy. It doesn't mean you can build a house. You know what I mean? And that's where it's like, okay, you got to go from like the indicator mindset to just the auction mindset. Like, because indicators will work it'll work if you have the right understanding of the auction you're in, right? Because for me, if an indicator tells me to buy and then the market drops, to me, I see that the indicator worked, because it told me that, okay, the buyers believed that this was the right time to enter, depending on what type of indicator it is. And then when it fails, for me, that's the signal. I built signals based on failing indicators. So when a pullback signal fails, that's actually my signal to get in the opposite direction, right? All right, let's see what they're beginning to fail here. Now, see, it's amazing how the ES is now continuing. We're getting that expansion now lower, and that finally is beginning to let go. Now we're in negative gamma. Let's take a look at that heat map real quick. Yeah, we are in negative gamma now on all three, SPX, SPY, and QQQs. So as long as we stay heavy under 75.47 on SPX, and obviously for us on the ES, it would be like 7,600. So we stay firm under that. That's it. That's it. It's over. Over. Did you get that short there, buddy? I know that you were monitoring it there. So this was the entry right here. 10th. So this is with or without the gamma levels. Like, we already understood negative gamma. We understood what the heck was going on. And then once we know that, it's like, all right, when do I get into a trade? Okay, so for me, right here, we got 10:30 open. We get aggressive. We actually hit the zone here, 25s. We get to 25. We get the first attempt by the sellers. Buyers come back in and take back control. And then the sellers remain in control. Basic price action 101, break a structure. There's the first pullback, and then we get that lower low expansion. Right, and then you can just confirm it with order flow. You see sellers did get active here. We got aggressive selling, got a reaction, came back to retest, sellers again, right? And now we're just beginning to see price, something just happened with the submarine now. This is an exhausting market, huh? It's 20 before two candles, so patient. Good for you, bro. 76.10. Let's see if it gets to 76.10. Okay. 76.10 now. All right, let's see what happens. So we're back to testing the VWAP, NQ. See. Oh shit. It's serious out there right now. I'm listening to the news. Oh boy. Yeah. Well, I mean, if your account can support it, you know, then you're fine. Nothing to dread. But if the account can't support it, just be careful. You know what I mean? It's like not really worth sitting in that anxious position because there's some drone missiles being dropped right now on submarines or something. I just heard. So I don't know. I don't know, man. Yeah, the problem with Trump candles, you know, your stop loss isn't going to work, right? It's the problem. You get a Trump candle. What's stop loss? There is no stop loss. Your stop loss is your account balance. Shit. Looks like they're trying here. On the yes. Maybe Jay got it right. Let's see. Maybe we get that reclaim to 76.15s. Still got some ways to go. They'd have to get back above the structure here, 7600s. But oh no. Yeah, bro. Yeah. That's wild. Nothing you can do about it either. Nothing you can do about it. See, let's see what they're gonna do here. We're reapproaching the 30-minute open. Yeah, see that. Let's see if they're gonna continue to. Buyers need to stay above 75.80s if they're going to run this higher on the ES. Let's see. Boys can pump through 70. I'm watching the NQ 700s. I have no interest in buying this. I'm just watching. I'm like really just kind of like not trying to overexert myself for no reason. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, I think if I was looking at ES, right? If I was looking at ES, if we start breaking back underneath or getting closure underneath 75.90s, I'd be concerned for. I would be looking for price to go lower if we close back under 75.90s. If they can still stay firm above 75.90s, and maybe we get retest of the call wall 7600, and then at that point you just watch to see how they interact with that level. 75.90 on the ES, if they can continue to stay above and support, then yeah, I think maybe there's some hope here that the buyers can get their move back up to these highs. But I don't know, man. I think that's part of the muscle memory, right? Because that's what happened on Friday. We had Trump candle and then boom, highs, new high day. And maybe people are thinking the same thing right now, right? They're thinking Trump candle, pull back, higher low, high day. They're thinking. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. If this does fail, this could be a pretty big failure if it does fail on the NQ. But right now it's 50-50 in this current structure. I don't really see, as long as they're staying under 700s, right? So they've not reclaimed that level. I agree with you on that one there, Jay. Way easier to read liquidity on the ES. I'll take a scalp short there on that dot, and target low day. There is another 25 points. Taking the profit. Yeah. I'm gonna try to write this one down. Quick one. But they could reclaim right there, so we'll see. Stop's already a break even, so I don't really care. Maybe I'll just leave my stop up there, back above 85s for now. We back in this 24, almost gonna see if we can get to 25 point. We get under 630s, we're gonna see some volatility kick in here. Let's see. Let's see. Right there. That was my call, my reason for shorting it, right? They took out the highs. We had a buyer get trapped right here. Big buyer, 100 contracts. Not really seeing any book play. They're not really doing much with the order book in terms of size. So pretty thin. So I see on ES, bro. Do you see that 568 contract at 94, 594s? Yes. They pulled it the first time, and then they re-added it, and then they also pulled the bids. You got to be careful. There's a vacuum here. So you got a book flip. So they initially had the offers, they canceled it, price went up and filled, or they tried to fill. Actually, they did fill, and then they re-added again. And then we have some thin bids below. The floor is very thin. Very thin. Look, you can see it right there. This is why ES is so much better to learn order flow, because you can truly see the manipulation, right? Are you short? You're short, right? Okay, I thought you were trying to get long, so I like, oh, they just pulled the offer there. You see that? They just pulled the offer. Got to be careful, bro. So the level's 90, right? Just watch that 90 level here. We start reclaiming 90s and holding, then they may use that as a vacuum to pump. But they already had their chance. They already filled, right? So they filled here, came back in, unable to sustain the move. We broke underneath 90s. Now we're consolidating under 90s. There's really no bid here. There's 100 contracts at 82s. If they put like a bid like nearby and then they immediately attack it, then that's where it's going to go next, right? That's going to be the magnet. Gotcha. Okay. Good work, bud. Yeah. So we got that closure back under 75.90 on a 5-minute. Let's see if they're going to be able to stay heavy under 90s. Buyers are trying again. I don't know if I like that rotation on the ES. How it did it? Let's see if we can just get through. If they can just stay heavy, we got to see price below 86s or 85s, and then from there we have a chance at 80s. But right now they're beginning to push back into 90s. You see, let's see if they're going to reclaim. There's nothing here either. They pulled this. This is the part that's concerning. It was large size. They canceled it. That part's concerning, right? But is what it is. And then they just added right there at 96. They lifted the offer there. They canceled the bid offer, lifted it. There's also 83s, so not 93s. So let's see. I'm not trading the ES. I'm just kind of watching it for your sake to see the action. What's going on here? I might just probably end up getting tagged out on my trail here. See, they reclaim 75. I'm going to cut my trade since it's reclaiming back above 50s. Yeah, look right there at the offer. They just reloaded the offer at 94s. And so let's see what happens here. Yeah, good idea, buddy. Good idea. They consume that. They filled those offers. So let's see if they're going to continue to hold up. Otherwise, buyers may exhaust here. We get back under 90s, then we get the actual move. They're testing the flip line here on SPX. That's what the issue is, right? So they're battling right there at that SPX level. So if I were to go, I don't know if you can see this. Let me put it back on the chart. See, that's the pin right here, the POC, right? 75. Look right here, 75.45. So they migrated. They shifted the POCs from 74.95 to 75.45. So it went from lower to higher. and now we're pinning our flip zone here, our flip line. So above it, SPX is positive. Below it, we're negative. The SPY is in positive gamma. So, you know, it's kind of messy, right? There's a lot of like mixed stuff going on here. ES is technically positive gamma. So yeah, that is positive gamma price action. We get a push to the low, it gets absorbed. Push to the high, it gets absorbed. So contained in price action. You want to know what the best indicator to use when we're in this type of structure? It's kind of funny actually, but you go to if you if you just throw a Bollinger Band on your chart, you'll be making money on every trade. In this type of environment with this current action, right? So. All right, let's continue to see what they're gonna do here. Look, this is I'm taking my little scalps. I mean, I was hoping that we would see some more trend type follow through, at least on the NQ, but not really, not really. We're testing again, 1030. This could be another opportunity here for the buyers to get dropped. Let's see. We have 1 minute left now on the hourly candle. So what are we going to do? Are we going to take a trade right now? Nah, let's just wait. Let's just wait. Okay, the ES is testing 7600s. Let's see. Don't buy breakouts. Don't buy breakouts. Remember, don't buy the breakout. In positive gamma, we don't want to buy breakouts or breakdowns. That was a nice little VWAP pullback there on the NQ. So NQ gave us a nice little double bottom there off of our volatility threshold level 630s. So this is how this pattern structured. So we had our level 630. We initially got aggressive underneath it. We initially reclaimed it with buying support. We have aggressive buyers here that bought. Price accelerates. Tags our New York open. We reject. Sellers once again try to take back control. Buyers end up taking back control, and we finally win. They finally win at the break right here. That's not something I would trade. I probably, if I was going to trade, I would have probably looked for here to get long, or even here above 75s. But not really interested. I mean, it's still just waiting. I guess we just took out our opening range high finally. So let's see how they handle the opening range high if they end up accepting above. So buyers are going to try to attack and get this move higher. And I mean, it can work because we can see we're getting we're getting buying pressure on the ES as well. So let's see, buyers are going to try to attack here, take control of this opening range high. Let's try to zoom in just a cinch. Feel like it's, you're scalping, it's we have a higher probability of doing well, in my opinion. And I say scalp, I'm talking like 15, 25, 50 points versus trying to sit there and hold for a session or hold for an entire 1 hour or 4 hour. Obviously in this positive gamma environment. Our 10:30 or 11 o'clock opening print. Let's now zoom into our hourly. We're rejecting 7400s. This was that major volatility threshold here on NetGex. So above this, we can expect prices to start getting more compressed. But I do see we have a large offer at 800s. I don't know. I feel like they're going to try to get back underneath 11 o'clock open. Call wall rejection there, buddy, on the ES. I don't know, we'll see. Boys rejected 7,600 again. Take a look at that. If I was trading ES right now, I would be pretty frustrated because, I mean, we're like in the 10-point range, 15-point range, yeah, about a 15-point range. And no follow through, just real tight. But look, we can't ignore this. We cannot ignore. They continue to fail. Let's go to a 1 minute chart. We can probably see better situation here. Look at these guys here. These guys have tried, buyers have tried multiple times to accept above 7,600, haven't been able to. So they really need to just build some value here. We need to see the sellers give up, wave the white flag, and then the buyers can take control of this. But I don't think that's going to happen today. Don't think it's going to happen today, but I don't know. I mean, rejection there. It's a clean one. Right. That is right. Kind of like this one too. I would prefer they give me another structural high, low. So whenever I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh, okay, they created a higher high. Now we're in a downward rotation. There's only two outcomes here. Outcome one, we create a lower low, or outcome two, we create a higher low. Go back to your Bookmap. Take a look at 70s. Well, they've already pinned that. They've been pinning that damn level, huh? Like all session. That is a pretty nice rejection there on the ES of 7,600. So these boys are going to try. The buyers should be trying to press the gas here if they're going to protect this long position. But I have a feeling it might. I feel like the game's done. I don't know. I'm going to go short again. Tight stops above 25s. Tight stops at 25. Maybe they do need to pop one more time. Maybe they do. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to wait for them to pop one more time. So I'll just take a quick 4-point, 5-point stop. Just a quick cut because I feel like I would like it to come back one more time, and then I feel more secure taking that short. So I'm going to wait. Yeah, I'm going to wait. So we got that red dot. I'm going to look for a green dot, then a red dot, right? Called volatility flips. Volatility flips. Yeah, good idea. Good idea. Let's see now if they're going to support price here on the ES on this pullback to the 95s. Go back to NQ. There's 25 reclaim. Good. So buyers are trying. Let them try. Let them push. Pump, pump, pump. And for me, if we can get up a little bit more, and I would look for something like this. There's a low. We get a swing, a high rotation. And if we can break like that, then that would be good. Wait. Give it some time, guys. Give it some time. Oh, they're back below the opening print. This could be it. This could be it. Careful here. This is that moment of truth on the ES there, buddy, right? You see it looks like it's confirming long. People are going to buy this breakout here. Let's see if the ESers, buyers, are going to get this control pullback and then get a retest of 7600s. I'm not saying do that. I wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying we have to think like how other people think. Not that we're going to do what they do, but if we can understand what the majority of people are thinking when they look at a chart, then we can basically play the game a little bit. Like we can be 2 steps, 3 steps ahead because we know exactly where they're going to put their stops. We already know exactly why they're framing this long setup. And then when it doesn't work, that means you have a lot of people on the wrong side. And when you have a lot of people on the wrong side, guess what? You're going to win big. Everyone's betting on team A, team buyers to win. When team buyers end up not winning, it's a big shock. It's like, what? Boom. Oh yeah, there we go. You know, see these boys over here. They didn't even get the buyers didn't even get the flip. So this was the right time right there. I should have seen in my trade. You will short if that 610 or 605 limit order gets filled. Okay. Oh. Okay. You're gonna short just when it gets filled? 7610s. You're a brave man. I don't see any orders anymore. 7610s. So see 93 contracts there. Oh, okay, got it. Gotcha. Not as of now. Okay. Gotcha. Well, based on your thesis there, right? Did you get short when it failed? Did you get short on that rejection of 7,600? No? Okay. I like how they're failing 95s. So what I like about what happened, if I was like trading, when I look at structure, what I like is a closure through the level. And it's not just a level, it is the level. 7,600 is the level, right? We know it's the level. Close above it and immediately close back under. Then you try one more time, couldn't do it. Boom. Hit it. Just hit it. You know, just hit it. And then just use a tight stop because you already know your invalidation level. Invalidation level. Yeah, we don't want to overthink it, dude. We don't want to overthink it. Like I should have stayed in my trade on, or I should have re-entered on the reclaim of opening print. So 11 o'clock, like right there. This is where I should have got back in. But what I'm hoping for now is they can give me another attempt. I want the buyers to come try again. Look, buyers have been trying here. They've been trying to hold this structure, right? We got the buyers coming in, aggressive buying, okay, higher low, higher high, aggressive buying at the high. So these guys are buying at the highs and getting stuck. Buying at the highs and getting stuck. Right, so then let's see if we get another one, and then boom, maybe even something like this. That's even nicer, right? That would be a way nicer structure for me. So we got this nice shoot up. Everyone's buying. It's like we're super bullish, and then we get this higher high, higher low structure here, and then maybe we see like I don't know some large bids start popping up somewhere. Maybe a bid would pop up right here, and that pushes price higher. And we got that ask, so maybe price may even approach that ask for 200 contracts. Let me see if it's still in the book there. Let me just refresh. It is a call resistance. It's a call wall. 7600s, major level, dude. Be careful about shorting right now. You're too far from the level. So if you short, you're gonna have to put your stop, you know, above that structure. And price right now is rejecting 95. So as long as price is staying firm above 95s, it's going to try come back again, dude. So I would not be shorting this yet. The short would have been at like 7,600 fail on the reclaim back under, then you short 7,600. Right now, you short now, you're like betting that that little wick at what type of price was this? The swing high here at 94s is going to be like the swing high. That's not a swing high. I'd be very careful. Like this is kind of how I'm seeing it right now. All right, you got this break here. They popped up into the level. They came back down to retest this zone here. If anything, what you could do is let them take out this high at 97, and then what they do is they get back underneath and fail, right? So we get a situation where it's like, okay, cool, we're bullish. Let the buyers get back in again, and boom, when we crack right there, then you go, okay? Crack right, this is a 1 minute chart too, FYI, so just be careful. But then this is gonna be the main structure right here for these buyers to fail. So buyers are in control until they fail, and as of right now, these sellers have failed, but we also know these buyers in this area here who bought 7,600, they've been failing. They've been repeatedly failing since this area here, actually since the whole morning. So it's just been nonstop failure. So now we're back. They rejected here off this level. What levels is 96s? But let's see if they can take. They hold it, right? They kind of just compressing right now. Let's see what happens. But so now if we have that structure 95, let me go to my Bookmap real quick. Yeah, 7,600 is still going to be like that level. That would have been the entry right there. I think on this breakout, break back in. And then I'd be looking at the 30-minute opening print. I'd be looking at that 30-minute opening print on the ES to figure out if that auction's staying heavy. I don't see much liquidity there. It's pretty balanced between big figure 76 and 90s. Are you using Bookmap? Using your Bookmap there? I got my lug levels on my Bookmap and my gamma levels. Yeah, Bookmap, cool. feel like Bookmap is great if you can put structure on it. Like we have these little quarter levels and gamma levels and level levels. I feel like that's when it's really helpful. But it's very hard, like at least for me visually, to like see the level like on Bookmap. But because I got those little lines plotted on there, it's like, oh, cool. Yeah, so we basically get the indicator, and then we just use the same levels on Bookmap. You can actually manually just add them. You can do under Cloud Notes, so you just add a Cloud Note, and then you can just put the levels into a Google Sheet if you like, and then that Google Sheet could be read by Bookmap, and then you can just plot the levels for you. That way you don't waste $200 on an indicator on Bookmap that does the same thing. Yeah, it's not really worth buying, you know. So, I mean, some indicators are pretty cool, but I don't know. I mean, I have indicators. I build my own indicators, but yeah, you know, I don't know. I feel like they all do the same thing because most of the people who make them don't even know how to trade. That's the biggest thing. Most of the people who code indicators don't actually trade, right? NQ on Bookmap is a cokehead. I would agree. That's why you definitely need a structure on the Bookmap charts to pay attention. Because I know everyone looks at the Bookmap because they want to see the heat map component, right? They want to see the clean liquidity, which I get it. But the funny part, well, it's not funny. The way it actually is like 99% of the liquidity is nonsense. You just need to wait for it, price to get to a key level first, gamble level, quarter level, institution level, like, you know, whatever you want to call it, key level first, then look at the liquidity, right? Because that's where the games show up, right? It's like soccer, right? Like you don't start seeing aggressive offense or defense until the ball is like close to the goalpost, right? When it's like in the middle of the field, it's not as, you know, as aggressive. There's not as much stuff going on. So, yeah. Well, I mean, you're doing the right thing, dude. You're learning. I don't know how long you've been trading. I don't know how long you've been looking at order flow, but you look at it long enough. I mean, if you do it straight for like, I don't know, 90 days. But the thing is, don't just look at Bookmap because it's very, if you 3 to 4 years on liquidity. Okay, I got you. That's a long time, bro. It's a long time. Then you're probably a beast at reading liquidity. I don't even know why I'm talking to you about that. You probably better than me at liquidity or order flow. I've been using Bookmap since like 2022. I started using it with stocks, to be honest. And then I was like, oh, okay. That was a mess. Yeah. Oh, well, thanks, bro. I don't really have much of a channel right now. You know what I mean? Just getting started here with the stuff, but there's a lot of good stuff. You know, that's the thing. It's a double-edged sword, right? There's so much good content nowadays on YouTube. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's easy to get lost and go down a rabbit hole, right? There's so much good information. But there's also a lot of bad information. There's a lot of recycled information, you know. So I'll just yes, low liquidity. You're right, dude. It's the prop firms, right? Because now everybody that does a YouTube channel is pretty much a professional prop gambler, and all they want to do is get people watching so they can get affiliate commissions, right? Which I get it. I'm not going to hate the game or hate the hustle. I mean, I understand it, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of the stuff too. It's kind of like, it's not really promoting, I think, longevity, like the right type of stuff, you know. And then how can a prop firm create content for people that's supposed to help them win long term? Like, how's that even possible? Like, the prop firm is a casino. That's like a casino putting on workshops on how to beat the dealer at the blackjack table. Like, you think the casino's gonna teach you how to beat them? Come on. And I know they may come across like they have good intentions, and sure, they're creating opportunities for folks, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But let's just call it what it is. Let's call it what it is. They make money. when people lose. Period. Bingo. I agree with you there, Jay. You just know those 3 things. Don't even waste your time with anything else. The rest of your time should be spent engaging the chart, watching it in real time. The best education you can get, like once you learn the basic foundational principles and concepts, right? And that may take time because you can't just learn it all in like 1 week. Oh, it's not just like draw a trend line or draw a fair value gap and now you can trade. You know, I know people think that. Let me just buy an indicator, now I can trade. Like that's not how it works. Like, okay, you learn the basic fundamentals of structure, price action, then you move your way into order flow concepts and move your way into gamma levels. The good news is if you have a good foundation of price action, then it makes it much easier to understand order flow and understand options, gamma levels, and all that. And then once you have that understanding, knowledge-wise, that's like 10% of it, because you can have the information, 10% of it, right? You can have 100% of the information, but that's still only 10% of the battle. The next is going to be you in front of your charts, watching it real time unfold, real time. That's where you build discretion. That's where you build your discernment. That's where you build your ability to make decisions under pressure, right? Anyone can learn how to like kick a soccer ball, but what happens when you're in a high level game, you know, with a highly competitive team when the stakes are high? Well, at that point, it's like, well, you're going to forget your own name, right? You're not going to be able to, and that's the part that, you know, you can't teach. And unfortunately, the prop firm stuff generates all the bad behaviors. You know, all the bad behaviors, because you're like, you're forcing trades, you're rushing trades, you're over trading, you're focusing on the short term, you're focusing on in the moment candle, what I got to do to be able to pass this eval or make a payout, and this doesn't really align well with doing this for a living long term. I mean, I'm not saying you can't make money doing it. Trust me, you can make money, absolutely make money trading prop firms, no question about it. But when you separate the conversation around being a trader, an actual trader versus a prop firm trader, I think it's a little different. I've even heard people say, the prop firm traders say, I cannot trade a real personal account. I've literally heard people who've made millions of dollars trading prop firms say, I cannot trade a personal account. I heard that. Have you heard that? It's different. And of course, there's other guys too that are actually really great at trading whatever. And you know, these guys are fluid and flexible. They can trade prop firms, they can trade personal accounts, they can do it all, right? But for folks who are like just struggling or trying to learn, it's like, look, if you're a bad trader, if you're learning and you're struggling and you're trading prop firms, just know that you're playing a game that's like on level 8 to 10 when it comes to trading. Like it's level 8 to 10. It's harder. It is harder, in my opinion, right? It is harder. That's why, you know, I think I've seen some people promoting recently on YouTube, like start with a small cash account, like $500. Just fund your account, $500, trade 1 micro. I think that's actually better. I think that's actually a good idea. You know, do your prop firms a little bit, get your experience, get your reps in, and then open up a live account, small live account, just trade that and kind of get that actual experience of trading real money with real data, with real fills, real slippage, right? And then there's no like, oh, I have to do this and do that and all these hoops you have to jump through. But of course you need to have your discipline intact. But that's where that's where your ability to control your emotions are going to come in play, right? But it's the same thing. But now it's a little different. It's a little different dynamic there. Yeah. But we have to shift that mindset, buddy, because I don't know if your goal is to be a full-time trader or make a living with trading or make reasonable or sizable income trading. And by the way, this is not financial advice. I have to say that, right? It's education purpose only, whatever. But once you break that habit, once you break that scenario about not caring about the risk on your personal accounts, that's where your breakthrough is going to come from. Right? Because that little greed demon that we all have, and I know it's hard, man. I know it's hard. And these markets are not easy. The market's completely different. It changes every 3-6 months, right? It's not easy. But the market is either going to force you to quit or force you to get disciplined. That's it. You're either going to get disciplined and you're going to be able to survive and do this, or you're going to continue doing the same thing you've always done, expecting a different result, right? And that's, yeah, maybe it'll work sometimes, but long term, it's just not a winning strategy. And then if you follow prop firm traders who are just overly aggressive all the time, they don't really care if they make money trading because they make money on everything else. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'd focus on trader development. That's the mindset I would have. Like, I'd focus on like, let me just get locked in on a strategy. Let me get locked in on, you know, what my weak points are as a trader. Like, where do you struggle with trading? You know, and if we can understand that part, then we can kind of like start working on that and fixing that. And that's important because, again, you can have the best strategy, but if you're not disciplined, guess what? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. I don't care. You can give a winning strategy to a losing trader, and that losing trader is going to lose the same. Isn't that funny how that works? It's so funny how that works. And it's so funny. What's interesting. I learned this concept a long time ago. Is how you do anything is how you do everything, right? So most of the time, if that person is unable to be disciplined financially, disciplined mentally, disciplined physically, disciplined with relationships, disciplined with their own integrity, bro, those people are going to have a hard time being disciplined in anything else, whether it's trading or a business or anything else. Yeah, 10,000 hour rules, absolutely. That's the thing, right? The time spent. Here we go. Let's watch what's going on here. These guys are trying to flip the trend here. Let's see if these guys are going to be able to reclaim. I don't think they're going to, but let's see what happens here. Yeah, you know, when you look at a chart real time, the way it moves tick by tick, like literally just watching the interaction of price, like that's the education right there. Seeing how they can press a level, see what a rejection looks like, see what a reclaim looks like, see how, you know, what Jay's talking about, spoofing, how that affects price. Like watching, absorbing this information. These are the, I'm gonna try again a short here. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here. Isn't that funny? I feel like this one could be easier if I'm in a good spot in life. It is easier because then you don't need the money. You're not desperate. You're not needy. But in order to get to a good position in life, guess what you're going to need? Discipline. It's a catch-22. So what comes first? Being in a good position in life or being disciplined? Because discipline's a universal concept. It's a universal principle that we have to live with, not just in one area, but in all areas of our life if we expect to become the best version of ourselves. Let's see if they're going to reclaim this level. Am I going to get trapped here? Let's see. Watching Bookmap. Get back underneath 75, the round number here. See, watching. Back under. They're losing that 0-0 level, 700s. We're going to try to pop it one more time. See. New York Open is that threshold for me. I'll be watching here. What's going on the other charts? Yes, looks nice. Let's see. They're pinning the 700. Can we get a reversal bar down here? And maybe we get these lows. But I don't know. They're still holding up. Still pinning the 700. 27. Back above 700s again. Cut it. See. Still in it. Yeah, they're holding the 700 level. They might not be ready yet. I'll probably pop it one more time. I'm watching that open print at 9:30. Should have been a quick resolution, but they're holding it up. Buyers are trying here above 700s. It looks like they're going to clear 710s, so they're going to try to get through the opening print. I'm out. I'm out. That one. Okay, we'll see what they're going to do next. I still like the thesis of short under 700s. Gonna wait a little bit here. Don't worry, bro. Now's not the time. They just reclaimed that green dot right there. Just wait. What we got to recognize is this structure here, right? We had these lower low, lower highs. They just broke structure. Buyers took control. Sellers step back in. They just failed now, right? So now we've got this lower high structure forming. So we got to be careful because they may end up creating another high off this 680 level. So they've had the chance right here to get heavy, but they just reclaimed it. So let's see now that it was only two outcomes here. Either we create a higher high or a lower high in this current moment. So we have 30-minute candle opening up right now. So let's see what they do. And this will be my last trade here for the session. Okay. Watching here. I like how they're playing those offers and lowering them down. See how they were stacking them from 720 down to 713. Back under 720s or 700s. And these boys flip again one more time. I'm back in again. Two tries. I'll give it two tries. I want to get through this green zone here we got on this chart. Don't want to see a reclaim of 700. Great. There's that expansion. There's that push. There's some buyers, sellers hitting the bid. So I got to be careful here. It could reclaim. So I don't want to get stuck in a reclaim. Stop is going to be that open print at 930. This is tough here, right? This is the way this market's just capping the lows here. But hopefully we can stay under 700s. Reclaiming again. That looks like they're trying to reclaim once again. Let's see if they're going to get back above 700s. They're trying. Hitting the bid. Trying again. They're going to try one more time. And then you also have to know when to walk away, right? Like, I'm trying this idea like 2 times already. So I've took the short here on the reclaim, and then it didn't work again, right? Doesn't mean it won't work. It's just not doing what I wanted to. My thesis was we should stay heavy under 700s. I didn't like this right here. This is a part that I don't want to see. They break that structure. We have large selling come in, and then they couldn't get the move lower. Yeah, I'm with you on that, bro. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm going to wrap it up as well, guys. You guys have a good rest of your session today. I'm going to go ahead and just walk away with my Trump candle win and just be content with that for a Monday, right? We'll be back tomorrow morning, same time. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscription button, hit the like button. Appreciate it. If you're not in the free Discord, feel free to jump in the free Discord. We will be releasing our Dynasty HQ dashboard, which is a combination of all the tools you see here for NinjaTrader, modules on everything that we do, as well as trader development program. So basically being able to improve your trading, get feedback on what's going on. It's like a trade journal, but it's more geared towards performance. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully you guys got some value from today. You guys have a great day. Stay disciplined. Today is a day where we're not really seeing that follow through. So just be very careful, because if you start taking cuts as we approach the afternoon, it will be a little bit more difficult to recover those cuts. You guys have a good session. Thanks for tuning in.